Well, hello and welcome. I'm Colin Daniel from riffninja.com, and we're here today to have a follow-up lesson on triads and why they're so important. And this is to give you a little sneak peek preview of what I'm teaching in my course, Guitar Player Bag of Tricks, Open Voicings, and you can find out more about that at riffninja.com. And we're going to have a look at the E minor triad today. And I discussed in my last lesson the D minor triad, and I showed you a D minor scale. And the reason why I showed you this scale was because I wanted to point out that you can find any chord notes you need by taking your 1, your 3, and your 5 out of your scale, whether it's major or minor. If you're looking for a major chord, take 1, 3, and 5 out of your major scale. If you're looking for a minor chord, take 1, 3, and 5 out of your minor. Now, on the piano, they teach you 1, 3, and 5 is major, and 1 flat, the 3 and 5 is minor, which it is when you compare the major and the minor chord. Then the minor chord has a flat, a third in it. But we're just taking it directly out of the scale. So if this is D minor, we'll just go the 1 octave, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we'll move it a tone higher, 2 frets, to E. Now the cool thing about triads is that once we get the 3 notes that we need for the chord, we can move them anywhere we want in any order. So for example, here in this E minor scale, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is octave, right? So 1, 3, and 5. That's E, G, and B, right? Now you don't have to play them in the scale if you don't want. You can. There's the same thing as the D minor that I showed you in the last lesson. Okay, but now we're going to take those notes and we're going to play them here. E, G, and B. Now the reason why I want to do this is because I'm always looking for interesting ways to blend open strings with higher voicing triads. And in this case, this one works really good. So here's my E. I use my pinky. My E, the 7th fret. 7th fret, 5th string. Then my G. So E is 7th fret, 5th string. G at 5th fret, 4th string. And the B, my 5, at the 3rd string, and that's 4th fret. Together, they create E minor. Now, I'm using all 6 strings here because the open E is just a lower root of my E on the 7th fret, right? And my B is a higher form of the 5. And then a high E, right? So this is an E minor. Lovely sounding E minor. Especially if you're going to pick it. And it doesn't sound the same as the real standard common voicings like this E minor. This is a very common E minor, or this one here. This is a great sounding option. And you can add the open 6th, 2nd, and 1st string. So we can treat this E minor in any way we want. We can strum it, and we can use it to substitute the standard E minors. Like this is a really standard E minor, and so is this. But we're going to take the E, G, and B, and we use the 6th, the open 6th, the open 2nd, and the 1st string. And that makes for a really interesting open E minor that you can treat by strumming it or picking it or whatever you want to do. It sounds really good picked. And then you can place it wherever a standard E minor is required depending on what sound you want. Isn't that a beautiful sounding chord? So if you want to move it up, and this is E minor, that's F sharp minor, that's G minor, there's my root on the 5th string, right? And this is A minor. And the reason why I'm bringing it to A minor is because this is a very dark sounding A minor. And it certainly doesn't sound anything like our more common A minors. It's still got the A, the C, and the E. And now I'm using an open B and an open E string. And of course, E minor and A minor are relative harmonically. So I use the open B and the open E. The E is the 5, and so is the low E. It's the 5, it's a lower 5. And the B is the 2, which is neutral. So this becomes an A minor add 2. Not a sus chord, it's a true A minor chord. So I hope this lesson was informative and that you connected with it. There's a lot more to be had in this area. And like I said, if you want to find out more about it, check me out at riffninja.com. And thanks for being here today, and good luck.